Chapter 7. "I'd like to see you try," Puck said defiantly. A 6-foot-high circle of fire snaked around the group, trapping them inside. The flames licked at the pots and pans the children had hoped would act as armor, and managed to scorch Sabrina's hand. She pulled it close to her and rubbed the painful burn. "I will roast the flesh from your bones," the face threatened. Dark gray clouds framed the bulbous head in a violent thunderstorm. Lightning crackled around the face, exploding in light and sound with every twitch of its eyebrows. "Who dares invade my sanctuary?" Sabrina pulled Daphne close to her, while Puck stepped between them and the closest flame, thrusting his little sword into the wall of fire. "We're not invaders, we live here," he shouted over the roaring fire. The face cocked an eyebrow and looked at them sternly. "You're the grandchildren?" "Yes, Sabrina and Daphne," Sabrina shouted. "And Puck," Puck chimed in. Suddenly the fire puttered out, as if someone had turned off a stove. "Oh, thank goodness. I thought carnival folk had broken into the house," the head cried. "You can hardly blame me. 3 kids break into my room, and they're dressed like escaped inmates from the Ferryport Landing Asylum. You may not have heard, but the whole circus clown meets crazy street vagrant look is so over." Sabrina looked down at her outfit. The torn, bright blue pants, the orange sweatshirt with the monkey, the pressure cooker lid strapped to her behind. Her face flushed with embarrassment as she took off her spaghetti strainer helmet. "What are you?" Sabrina asked, regaining her composure. "I'm not a what. I'm a who," the face in the mirror croaked, looking deeply insulted. "Then, who are you?" Sabrina said impatiently. "Tisk, tisk, tisk. Why, I'm the seer of seers, the visionary of visionaries, the man who puts the fun in your reflection," he replied with a dramatic flourish. Sabrina looked at her sister for help. Daphne had read more fairy tales than Sabrina, but the little girl returned her sister's glance with a dumbfounded shrug. The face in the mirror frowned, sensing that the girls were far from starstruck, and, in fact, had no idea who he was. "I'm the magic mirror," the face snapped. "We could have guessed you were a magic mirror," Puck muttered. "Not a magic mirror, the magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall." "From Snow White?" Daphne asked. "Is there another?" the face growled. "You can call me Mirror. Your grandma told me you were coming from New York City, though she didn't tell me she was giving you a set of keys." "She didn't. Granny threw hers to us before she was carried off by a giant," Daphne explained. Mirror's eyes grew wide with astonishment. "Well, there's a sentence you don't hear every day," he chuckled. "And I suppose you are in the midst of a rescue plan?" "They are," Puck said defensively. I'm a villain." "So, let's hear this thrilling plan," said Mirror. "We haven't got all the details worked out yet," Sabrina said, trying to make herself sound older and more mature. "You don't have a plan?" Mirror exclaimed. "We're still working on it," Sabrina muttered. "We thought there might be something up here that could help us." "You're just like Henry," Mirror sighed, "ready to jump headfirst into an adventure, hoping he'd come up with a plan along the way." The girl was shocked. Headfirst didn't sound like her dad at all. My dad read the labels on cans of food before everyone could eat, she thought. You knew our father? Daphne exclaimed. Knew him. I was Henry's babysitter most of the time. I saw him off to prom. I was even invited to your parents' wedding. They propped me up on my own seat. I'm a member of this family, after all. Sorry. We didn't mean to offend you, the little girl said. So, if you're the magic mirror, what do you do? I can show you anything you want to see. All you have to do is ask, Mirror said proudly. What are you talking about? Sabrina asked with growing impatience. All this chatter was keeping them from acting. Who knew what that monster was doing to Granny and Mr. Canis? You got a question, I got an answer, the face bragged. All you got to do is ask. Are Granny Relda and Mr. Canis still alive? Daphne asked. Sorry, kiddo, that's not how it works. You have to ask me the right way. What's the right way? Sabrina demanded. Well, if you're going to be cranky, then just forget it, Mirror said. He jutted out his lower lip. Puck swung his carrot peeler menacingly at the face, then realized what he was doing and flashed his little sword. Listen, Mirror, you tell us what we want to know, or you're going to find yourself cracked and broken all over the floor. You wouldn't dare. Just see if I wouldn't. Daphne tugged on Puck's arm. Acting as the diplomat for the group, she apologized to Mirror. We're just very eager to find our Granny and Mr. Canis, and we don't understand what you're saying. The face's expression changed to a huge smile. Apology accepted. Now, like I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted, he said as he eyed Sabrina disapprovingly, you have to ask your questions in a special way to activate the magic. You have to... Rhyme them, Daphne interrupted with a happy cry. Bingo. The little girl turned to the other two. We have to rhyme the question, like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? A blue mist filled the mirror's surface, and the face faded away, only to be replaced with the image of the most beautiful woman Sabrina had ever seen. She had black hair like Daphne's and flawless porcelain skin. She was standing in front of a classroom teaching. Every boy in the class stared at her like a lovesick puppy, and there was a stack of apples on her desk. That would still be the lovely Snow White, Mirror said. Just then... Sorry, doing his voice makes me yawn. Just then, all the students got up from their seats and exited the room. When Snow White was finally alone, she tossed the apples into a garbage can and slid it under her desk. Okay, how about this? Sabrina said. Mirror, mirror in a beehive, is Granny Relda still alive? The man in the mirror's face reappeared and he was frowning. In a beehive? All you said was it had to rhyme. You didn't say it had to make sense. Very well, said the face, and the blue mist returned. Your grandmother is alive and well, for now. Where is she? Daphne asked. One question at a time, and that one didn't rhyme anyway. Mirror, mirror, we're just kids. Can you show us where our grandma is? Puck chimed in. Sorry, that doesn't technically rhyme, Mirror argued. It's close enough, the children shouted. Mirror frowned, but misted over, and suddenly, Granny and Mr. Canis appeared in the reflection. They were climbing on top of their car, which was enclosed in what could only be described as a giant bag. Mr. Canis pulled the fabric down, and the two of them looked over the edge. They were still in the giant's shirt pocket. "They're alive!" Daphne sighed with relief as the image zoomed out to show the giant. The ugly brute was asleep, lounging against a huge rock outcropping. "He's up in the mountains," Puck said. "You've probably tossed kids off of that very cliff," Sabrina commented. "A few," Puck agreed, making Sabrina wonder if he was serious. "Look at the size of that beast. I'm going to need a bigger sword." "We'll come with you," Daphne said. "You aren't going anywhere," the boy replied. "The last thing I need is a couple of girls bawling while I fight the giant. You two are staying here." "What are we supposed to do while that's happening?" Sabrina asked. "Woman's work. You can clean up that mess in the dining room." "Women's work?" the girls cried. "Oh, you've said it now," Mirror warned Puck. "If anyone's going up there, it's me," Sabrina declared. "I can't expect some smelly kid who lives in the woods to save my grandmother. You couldn't even push me into a pool. You stay here and keep an eye on Daphne," she commanded. "Keep an eye on Daphne?" Daphne repeated indignantly. "I'm not staying here. She's my granny too."
"What you need is someone who has had experience with giants,"
Mirror interrupted. "What we need is someone who can kill a giant," Sabrina said. "Like the big bad wolf," Daphne suggested. "No, tougher than that." "I'll do it," Puck said angrily. It was obvious that the boy was offended at their lack of respect for his fighting skills. "Mirror, mirror, what can we do to rescue Granny from you-know-who?" Sabrina asked. The mirror misted over once again, and this time, when it cleared, the children saw a man sitting in a jail cell. He had a boyish face with spiky blonde hair and big eyes. He was lying lazily on a thin, ratty cot. He got up, walked over to a small window, looked out, pulled on the bars in a hopeless effort to free himself, and when he found them unbendable, scowled and returned to his dingy bed.
"You need the help of Jack, the giant killer,"
Mirror said as his face returned to the reflection. "Jack the giant killer?" Sabrina asked. "Jack and the Beanstalk," Daphne explained. "He's the same guy." "That guy sitting in the jail has killed giants? I'm not impressed," Puck said, continuing to sulk. "Granny said he was down on his luck," Sabrina said, "but I didn't think she meant that down. I guess it'll be easy to find him now." "We passed the jailhouse on the way to the hospital," her sister pointed out. "We do not need Jack," Puck fumed. Suddenly, Elvis barked an angry warning from downstairs. It was followed by several loud knocks on the front door. "Who's that?" Sabrina whispered. "Mirror, mirror, one question more. Who's that knocking on our door?" Daphne asked.
"Now you're getting the hang of it,"
Mirror said as his face misted over. Outside of the house, 2 police cars were parked in the driveway.
"It seems as if the local authorities have arrived."
"Hampstead's here," Sabrina said as the image revealed the fat sheriff hoisting up a new pair of pants in between angry knocks on the front door. An equally plump deputy with a thick handlebar mustache gestured for Hampstead to walk around the house, and together they did, revealing pink curly tails sticking out of the backs of their beige slacks. "He brought friends," Daphne said as the image blurred, then reappeared from another angle. Another equally rotund deputy with a shock of bright white hair tucked under his hat walked along the side of the house, trying to find an open window. When he got to the dining room window, he placed his face against it to peer in, only to fall over backward when Elvis lunged at him from the other side. The terrified deputy transformed into a pig, but changed back once he calmed down.
"Ferryport's finest, Sheriff Hampstead and his dim-witted deputies, Swinehart and Boorman," said Mirror.
I can't believe the three little pigs are working for the bad guy, Daphne sighed.
I can't believe anyone still calls them the three little pigs,
Mirror tittered.
That trio has been tipping the scales for as long as I can remember.
Look at them. They're no match for us. Why, I could take the three of them by myself, Puck said so excitedly that his wings appeared and he flew off the floor. Sabrina pulled him back down by his sweatshirt sleeve. Ladies, this is the police. Open the door, the sheriff demanded through a megaphone in a tinny, amplified voice. We can stay out here all night if we have to. What do we do? Daphne asked. Nothing. They can't get in here, Puck replied. But we can't get out. We're trapped, Sabrina said, worried.
What is this nonsense I'm hearing from you? Mirror said. You two are Grimms. Performing the impossible is what you do. Do you think your family could have survived this long with ogres and monsters running around if they couldn't find a way out of their own house? Okay, you're so smart. You tell us what to do, Sabrina snapped. We came up here because we're looking for some help. Now, there are cops outside who want to arrest us and, worse, who are keeping us trapped in here so we can't get out and save our grandmother and her best friend, who have been kidnapped by a giant. You're asking for my help?
Yes. Do we have to rhyme it, too?
Not at all. Ask my little wardrobe-challenged friends, and you shall receive, the face said. I need your keys. What? Why? Sabrina asked. Do you want some help or not? Give me the keys.
The reflection warped, and a portion of the mirror's surface grew outward, as if someone were blowing a bubble from the other side. It pushed out farther and farther, causing the reflection to shimmer and ripple, until a hand was thrust through. Even Puck seemed unsettled by what he was seeing.
Come on, girl, I don't have all night,
Mirror complained. Sabrina put the keys into the hand, and it disappeared into the bubble.
I'll be right back,
the face said as it vanished and the surface of the mirror flattened, returning to normal. After several moments, the face reappeared.
I've got just the thing for you, Mirror said with a smile.
Again, the surface of the glass rippled, and this time, a dusty, rolled-up carpet came through. Once it had completely broken the surface, the carpet fell to the ground, where it unrolled before them. Dazzling burgundy and gold threads formed an intricate pattern of symbols, moons, stars, flowers, sickles, and triangles, which seemed to shimmer as if they were woven from precious metal. Golden roped tassels hung from the carpet's edges. Sabrina thought it was the most beautiful rug she had ever seen. What's this? Daphne said, stepping on the carpet. Suddenly, it lifted off the floor and hovered in the air. The movement was so quick that Daphne fell onto her backside. It flies!
Just a little thing your grandpa picked up during a trip to the Middle East. Maybe you've heard of Aladdin? Mirror said proudly. This is his flying carpet, though it might be the best thing for your little rescue mission. Just tell it the location of where you want to go, and it'll get you there, even if you don't know how to get there yourself.
How do I make it go down? Daphne asked, giggling, but no sooner had the question left her lips than the carpet fell to the ground, causing Daphne's armor to clang on the floor.
When you're finished with it, I expect you to return it, said Mirror sternly, as Granny's keys came back through the surface and fell to the ground. Sabrina picked them up. But how are we going to get out of the house? Sabrina asked. Listen, cowgirl, I can't do it all for you. From what I hear, you're quite the expert at being sneaky. I suggest you cause a diversion, Mirror said.
With what?
I don't know. What could possibly distract 3 pigs enough so that you could get away?
Sabrina thought for a moment and then grinned. I know exactly what to do. All right, that's our halfway point in chapter 7, so I'm going to stop there for today, but I will record the other one either this weekend or early next week. Bye, guys!